Welcome to this podcast. My name is Filippa Levermark, and I created this show so that you can listen in on the sessions that I do, hoping that you might get some benefit from it as well. Perhaps you're going through something similar, maybe someone close to you is, or in either way, I hope you gain some insight, some new perspectives and tools that can help you in your growth and healing journey. In this session, Helen came in with the struggle of understanding why she can't lose weight. However, we soon found out that her deeper desire is to find herself again. Having raised 5 children, being there for her husband, she felt that she hasn't really been there for herself and she wants to reconnect. So welcome to listen in on our conversation where she does just that. Helen, what would you like help with today?
I would like to understand why I cannot lose weight. When I met my husband, I was 65 kilo and I moved to America. I can have a clue that everything is about food in their family, but I was eating not healthy. I was eating chips and everything, but I didn't really gain weight. And I always want to eat healthy, and now it's like I just get bigger and bigger, and the more diet I go on, I tried every single diet. I tried to cry to God, please heal me so I stop eating. It's something I don't understand. I have no clue why I am so fat, and my body hurts. I can't move. I can barely raise up. I mean, I was a normal weight, and I have 5 children. I understand that, but I shouldn't be this size, because it's stopping me from living my life. Like every day I think like, oh, I'm not going to buy that dress because I'm too fat. I'm punish myself. Yeah. And I would like to try to find out what's going on.
So what has been your kind of intuitive answer so far? I understand that you're confused right now, but have you got any answers so far on that?
Before the podcast, I was like, I gotta lay down. I'm gonna see like if I can find the answer.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Okay.
It's just black.
Yeah. And when did you start to feel that this was a problem for you?
After my first child, I didn't lose the weight, but also I was in America. Their eating habits was, my husband is a chef. Everything is about food.
Yeah.
It's like, I think I am very connected with my husband. When he's hungry, I get hungry. we are very connected, but in that way, I don't want to be connected with him because he eats a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
I feel like I follow his. I lost myself.
Yeah, interesting.
I lost Helen. That's the answer I got when I was thinking.
Oh, well, there you go.
I lost Helen. I am Helen with the children. I'm Helen with the husband. I'm Helen with, and I don't really have a lot of friends, but because something happened in my past that make me, I don't really like connect with people. I had friends that were not good to me. I was always so vulnerable, taking advantage of. And maybe I was like, I love Jesus and I'm going to help everybody. But it sounds so silly, but I was like that when I was 20. Like, oh, who do you work for? I work for Jesus. I did like theater project for free to collect to the church. But it just turned into be like I disappeared in it.
Okay.
This sounds so weird, like a person do this, but I actually gave too much of myself, so I forgot to take care about myself.
Yeah. So
yes.
This is part of your answer.
Now I get emotional.
Yeah. So I was like, what has your intuition already picked up? I have no idea. And then actually I have all the idea, which is I completely lost myself for years.
Yeah,
well, that might be related then.
I'm so busy taking care about others.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I am anymore.
Yeah.
I would like to be 20 again. I would like to what happened? I was thirsty. What happened? Like, I love my husband, but I'm angry with him because I feel like he took me. I lost myself in the marriage.
Yeah.
It's not like he's abusive or he's very nice to me, actually. But I do everything for him and he do everything for me, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think a lot of our health problems today have the exact same cause, which is a disconnect from self. Because when we don't feel connected to self, we want to find connection in everything else. So that connection can look like food, it can look like a partner, it can look like a career, it can look like children, it can look like whatever it is. We try to find
Alcohol.
connection.
I didn't
Alcohol?
drink before. No, I drink alcohol. I don't even enjoy it.
Yeah. So this is usually the cause of trying to find connection or trying to find home in yourself outside of yourself. Does that resonate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And in saying so, what this is not a trick question, but the answer is already told. What do you think is the solution for the disconnect?
No, but yeah, I understand. Let's take care about myself, but how do you do that? I try to,
Yeah.
I do try to, but I always fall like I'm writing a children book now. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I try to go to these women's circles, but I just feel like I don't fit in, and I probably do fit in, but I don't fit in because I am not connected with myself. I feel like an outcast everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, or they all talking and laughing, and I'm like, I wonder how it is to be in with these people, like connect like that.
Yeah.
I don't. Can you understand what I mean? Like I feel like I'm sitting around people, but I'm not everybody else. I'm sitting in another world and watching them.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm not belong anywhere. Like
Yes.
with this. And I think that's why I find difficult to be with people because I don't know why this is so easy for them.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know if you're seeing the pattern yet, but this is also the kind of main challenges you have is just disconnect, right? So you see other people, you feel disconnection. You feel disconnected to yourself when you are with your husband. You feel disconnected to yourself, right? So they're all kind of coming from the same challenge of this disconnect. Yeah. And then you have, well, I've tried to connect. So let's now, instead of trying to come up with solutions, which for me is just like connect with self, let's actually connect with self, right? So yeah. I'd like you to feel into the challenge of the disconnect. And this can be in any area or just one area, but just feel the general kind of I'm disconnected.
I don't understand. No.
Okay, so if I say let's maybe take one challenge, right? So let's take the weight, since that is what you started with. Okay?
Yeah.
So what does the voice in your head say about your weight right now?
It's my own fault.
It's my fault that I'm overweight.
Yeah. It's something wrong with me.
There's something wrong with me. Perfect. Beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the statement. There's something wrong with me. Yeah. And I want you to feel that statement. There's something wrong with me. And where do you feel this in your body when you say that?
In the solar plexus.
Yep. So now bring your awareness to solar plexus and put your whole attention there. There's something wrong with me. What is going on in solar plexus? Is there a tension? Is there like a knot or a heaviness? What is going on sensationally there?
I can't breathe. And it's a heaviness. It's a pressure.
Beautiful. There's a pressure and a heaviness. So what we want to find information here, right? So what is there any emotion going on in the solar plexus? And there's something wrong.
Hopelessness, loneliness.
Good. Beautiful. So is it okay that we start feeling a little bit of that hopelessness and the loneliness?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And the reason I said this is when we have emotions in our body related to a statement, so there's a belief, the story is there's something wrong with me, right? So that is a story, it's a belief, it's not true, but that's what your body believes. And there's tension in the energy of the solar plexus. So that is where the blocked energy is. And there's the emotion of hopelessness, right?
Yeah.
And loneliness. And just for you to know consciously, this is the pain that you might have avoided to feel, right? So when I say, can we start feeling this? It's simply because when we start feeling the pain, it's like we're untying knots in the emotional body that belong to the past. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, beautiful. So,
but I think I feel fear to feel it. I don't feeling it.
Yes, beautiful. So let's just be very gentle with this process because it's scary to feel uncomfortable emotions. And just so you know consciously that when we try to avoid feeling things, we are creating that kind of stuck energy, right? Because we believe that we are protecting ourselves from the pain, but actually we are holding on to the pain. And the freedom is on the other side of that pain, if that makes sense. Just gently, we don't have to push your emotional body, we don't have to be forceful here, but just gently start feeling a little bit of this loneliness or hopelessness. So you can put your awareness in the solar plexus, in the tension, the heaviness here. So why do I feel hopelessness? Is there any information with hopelessness here?
But I get pictures from my childhood.
Okay.
Is that anything?
That everything that comes is information that's relevant.
Because I know because I tried to understand it before, and when I was a kid, I was left in a foster home.
Okay.
And I was slaying for 2 months, just crying for my mom, but she never came. Then I feel guilt because I don't like my mom. I love my foster mom, and now she passed away. And after she passed away, it's like I think I gained weight actually after she passed away.
Yeah.
Even more.
Yeah.
Before I was maybe, heavy, but not like 100 kilo. Like before I was like 80,
Yeah.
And the last time she passed away,
Yeah. You're doing great, by the way. This is beautiful. Is it okay that we start feeling this emotion from when you were in this foster home? Just a little bit.
yeah.
Okay, so I want you to go into that feeling that you had then.
It's very difficult.
Yeah, you already started and you're doing great.
No, but it's just dark.
Yeah.
People there.
So let's look at this as if you have your past self. How old were you in this experience?
9, 10.
Okay, beautiful. So we want to meet this 9-year-old as an adult, and you are a brilliant caretaker. You've taken care of 5 kids, you have your husband, and you're very giving. So I'd like you to apply this from your adult self to your 9-year-old. You can even, since you're very visual, you can visualize that you're in this room with your 9-year-old. And I want you to meet the 9-year-old from your adult self. So you can picture 2 different people there. And this 9-year-old is feeling some kind of despair, right? And guilt. So there's, I miss my mother, but I also feel guilty for doing that because I have my foster mom, right? And we want to, yeah. And we want to
The mom, she was out there. She didn't know I was crying.
Yeah, okay. But the guilt came after?
But I didn't tell anyone. I missed my mom because I felt bad because my foster mom tried to really take care about me.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so lonely, because I couldn't talk to my mom. She didn't really come and pick me up.
Yeah.
And my foster mom didn't know, and I don't want to tell her
Yeah. Okay, beautiful.
that. So it was like I didn't have anyone to go to, really.
Yeah.
Because
yeah. Okay. Beautiful. So I would like you to ask this 9-year-old, what does she need?
she just wants her mom to pick.
She needs
She
her
just wants,
mother.
she just wants her mom to love her and
So
pick her up.
can
And
you,
not the foster mom, the real mom.
yeah, the real mother. So can you
Yeah.
now, as your older self, be that mother to her? And in this memory, can you embrace her?
Yeah, I can do that, actually.
Can you let her know that you love her?
She doesn't believe me.
Yeah, that's okay. We can talk to
She
her.
stared at me like, who are you? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
trust grown-ups. I don't trust people.
Yeah.
Nobody loves me.
Yeah, that's okay. And can you come with compassion to that? Because that is what was true for her back then. So you can say, I understand you. I understand that you don't trust me right now. I understand that this relationship will take time to build, and that I will need to prove to you that I am here for you. And I know that I've been disconnected and that things have happened.
Oh, that's what it is. I disconnected it from my child. Like,
yeah. Good. Beautiful. I just got shivers, so that means something is happening energetically. How does your 9-year-old react when you say, I understand? Perhaps you can also say, I'm sorry for...
no, but yeah, she's like, oh, you finally see me.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
But she also say like, you know, when we do our stories together and when we play together, then you see me, but then you don't see me when you are like that angry adult.
Well, she's very
So
aware.
I do my children's stories, then you know I tap into her. And then I put her down again in a box.
Yeah. And she doesn't want that. She wants you to be with her all the time.
But then I feel like people look funny at me because, and then I go to these meditation groups, and I feel like always I'm so different, and I always try to hide that and try to be like they all look so serious. And I will like just go up like,
Yeah.
and then I'm thinking maybe they also sit and look in the meditation group. Everybody going to do yoga now. Like, it's other things you can do to meet yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand now. Like, I don't let her be with me more than in my secret moments when I do my children books.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I pray, she can maybe come up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I try to hide her. And that's why I feel disconnected with myself, because I don't feel real.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And I'm ashamed of her.
Yeah.
I'm actually ashamed of myself, because I am a little bit different and I try to act. Do you think, or does it make sense for you? Like,
So I have only spoken to you on this session, but I immediately feel both connected to you. I feel how authentic you are and how funny you are and how true to yourself you are. And if that means different, then different is a very good thing. And everyone is eccentric when we come down to it. You know, children are never acting like normal people. They're always crazy, you know? And that's who we are, right? And so to be true to that is to obviously work through the shame that you're feeling towards that, but to come from an understanding that you will always be different. And that is the beautiful thing. No one is the same on earth, and nor were we designed to be the same. In fact, it's your uniqueness that makes you you.
But no, I get words coming to me who say, fy vad jobbig du är, Helena. Gud vad du är jobbig. Han vad jobbig du är.
So
Alltså,
in English, this means we're speaking.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter. In English, this means, oh, you're so annoying, right? You're so annoying.
Yeah, exactly. Annoying. Or so.
Yeah. So can we look at this part who says you're so annoying? Who is speaking this voice?
Han är min mamma, min riktiga mamma. I'm sorry, I went over to Swedish now. My real mom.
Okay.
My real Swedish mom.
And what does she want to communicate? You're so annoying. What is she?
You're too much. You're too much.
Yeah.
Of everything.
Okay.
She can't really understand.
Yeah.
And I remind about the father.
Okay.
So I think it's very difficult for her to deal with me because it reminds too much about her ex-husband that was very sick in a mental illness.
Okay. So have you, since this voice is coming in you, have you internalized this judgment towards yourself, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when we get these parts from our parents that are harsh towards self, and we start taking on that voice, like you are too much, we are doing that not to cause harm to self, even though that is usually the case that we do, but we do that to protect ourselves from some kind of pain. So in a way, this bear with me, follow me on this journey.
Yeah, it's fine.
Your mother would say that, obviously, because she had problems dealing with emotions herself, where she couldn't deal with her own being. If not, she wouldn't be in judgment towards you. But in a way, when she said that, or when you internalize that, is for you to not be too much so that you can feel love and connected.
Oh my God. That's why I try to not, because I just would like to be loved by my mother, and I'm 55 years old. How sick is that?
It's completely normal, and it's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah. But that's how we work when we have unintegrated parts of ourselves. Right? So we take on a protection mechanism, we take on a harsh critic, we take on all these parts from our environment so that we can better fit in and be loved and cared for. And we can only wake up to that once we become conscious and recognize that these parts were part of trying to protect us, or trying to get us to not die, essentially. So they're serving a function, but they're not serving a function anymore. They might have served function when you were young at some point, but they're not serving that anymore. Right now, they're just causing harm.
Yes, because I disconnect from myself because my mom say the way you are is wrong.
Yeah.
And I would like to be loved by her, but I don't really care for her. I talk to her once in a while, and she actually enjoys talking to me now because I try to heal that relationship. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I am too much, she still continues saying, that's too much, Helen.
Yeah. And guess what we started to work on in your solar plexus? Is there something wrong with me?
And I went into the hospital all the time because I had pain in my solar plexus. I was actually in the hospital when I was a kid because of this, because they say you're in a dream world, I couldn't do anything right. And then when I was 6, 7, I get this solar plexus pain, and they thought there was something wrong, and I was in the hospital. And then finally I went to the foster home because they say I was nervous, there was something wrong with me, and I couldn't do school. So there was something, everything was like, it's something wrong with you. That's why you're in the foster home.
Yeah.
But I went I actually had physical pain in my solar plexus when I was a kid. Beautiful. So that I was laying in a hospital, hospitalized.
Yeah. I'm saying beautiful because of the connection that you are making right now. Not that it was beautiful.
Yeah, but I didn't think about it. I thought it was something wrong with my tummy, but really it's the same pain.
The same pain. So this pain has been with you probably unconsciously for a long time, and therefore it's still causing you to run a pattern of not, there's something wrong with me, right? And when you believe subconsciously there's something wrong with me, then you're going to try to make things right all the time. So you need to please others and help others and do the right thing the whole time and be a good girl and
be a good girl. That's what I always want to be. I need to be a good girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So imagine all of this pressure that you put on yourself. No matter, it's not a surprise that your body is protesting against this.
And now I hear something else that actually my mom said when I had my first child.
Yeah.
She said, "Men gud vad tjockt du har blivit."
Yeah.
That's mean in English. You can't believe a mom say that.
So her mother, yeah. So for listeners, her mother said, "Oh my God, how fat you are! I can't believe how fat you are." Right
after my first child.
After your first child, and that is also when you started to put on weight. And this is
yes,
what happens when we
that's true. Oh my God, I can't even believe how much power this lady have.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if you have been abandoned by your mother, who is your primary caretaker, right? And you have an abandonment there, then the child who is 9, or she might have felt abandoned long before that, the only way for her to survive is to try to seek her mother's approval. And of course, if that is running subconsciously, you're still doing it. So what happens when we have a subconscious belief like there's something wrong with me, we have that running, then what we're subconsciously manifesting is that there is something wrong with us. So for example, with the weight, it could be that you need to have something wrong with you because you believe that about yourself, right? So does that make sense? So like when you had your first
child, actually it does.
Yeah. Then
and yeah, I'm sorry, but the silly part is that when I was 18, I left my mother and I didn't talk to her for 10 years. And I thought by leaving her, I was healed. And I went back with my first child.
Interesting.
Because I felt like the children have the right to a grandmother.
Yeah.
Because I should not mix my feelings with, I can't put that on my children. They have the right to learn to know their grandchildren. And then they say how fat you have been after 10 years. I mean, it sounds like a story that is not true, but it actually is. And she's not the cruel woman. She's actually very nice to other people, and she helped everybody. She would do anything for anyone. So it's not like she sounds like a monster, but she's really not.
Yeah, but the thing is, she is probably acting from a very unconscious place herself, and you would never judge someone else unless you have the same judgments towards self. And when we work with patterns in us, it sounds like, well, this only happened to me. No, this can be an ancestral thing. So probably your mother already had that. There's something wrong with her. So when she gets a daughter, she's going to project that onto her daughter, right? And maybe even she felt in not being able to care for you that there was something wrong with her. And so that perpetuated her story.
Yes.
And if something is wrong with you, like that you put on weight, then maybe she is interpreting that, since you are an extension of her, that there's still something wrong with you. So that equals there's something wrong with her as her mothering, right?
That was too complex for me. I didn't follow that.
Okay, sorry. So when so if we play with the idea that your mother has the same pattern, because usually these are inherited, right? So if she has a pattern of there's something wrong with her, right? Sometimes we have a pattern that is exactly the same, and sometimes we have a mirror pattern to that, but I will not go into that to make it more complicated. We'll just stay with the thing. So say that she has there's something wrong with me as well as a pattern, then her daughter, which is a extension of her, like when we have a child, we usually subconsciously make them an extensions of us. So they're technically us. So the way we treat our children is the exact same way we treat ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she sees you, maybe she sees there's something wrong with you. She is equally having that judgment toward herself. So maybe when she couldn't take care of you, she had that belief, I can't take care of you. There's something wrong with me. I can't be a good mother, right? Maybe when she saw you gaining weight, as we have a lot of judgment towards women and towards weight in this society, we can immediately interpret, well, there's something wrong with you, right? So like, why are you putting on so much weight? Seeing you as an extension of her, meaning there's something wrong with her still, either in the motherhood towards you. So this is getting complex, but you understand?
I understand. Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
So the healing journey of this is to meet these voices that we're doing right now, to have awareness. This is step one, and then to continuously speak with compassion to the part of you that is judging yourself. So the part of you that's saying there's something wrong with me, it's to speak to that part and say, thank you for trying to protect me so I can fit in society. But right now, actually, I'm the leader here. And this leadership is doing the best they can.
Yeah.
And that is good enough. Okay, so let's just continue now. Just explain a couple of things so to not get confused. So let's continue with the energy in the solar plexus.
Yeah.
So how do you feel right now in the solar plexus when you think about there's something wrong with me?
No, it's if I'm going to describe it, I mean, I'm not making this up, but it feels more like a circle, and the energy is warm, and I see like light, yellow.
Good.
I don't feel this pressure, but actually,
Yeah, good. And what
I
about?
mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be a good girl here. It's actually, I'm surprised. It's like it's flowing, like swirl.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful.
I don't have any. No, it's actually feel no pressure.
Good.
I can breathe.
Good. Well, perfect. Well done. And
now I'm like feeling for it. I'm like, let the pain come back. I'm like, come on.
Where is
the
it?
pain. No, you're not gonna,
Yeah.
So when I try to have the pain come back, it feels like, no, you're okay. You're okay. It's like swirling. No, you're okay.
Good.
It's like when when a baby scream and a mother take him up and then scream and then continue screaming, no, you're okay, and let's get quiet. And then they start screaming again, no, you're okay. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
Was that like a baby, like, it screams, but it's gonna be okay. That's how it is.
Good, amazing. And if we go back to the 9-year-old who felt suspicious about you and then kind of softened a little bit, what is she feeling right now?
I saw her face and she's laughing and she's super happy.
Oh, great.
I'm not making this up because I see pictures actually. I feel like no, but it sounds silly, but like she just looked at me with the big eyes. It's like, are we gonna play?
Yeah.
When are we gonna play?
Okay.
We're playing now. Are we gonna play again? All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that energy, like, and I also, me and my daughter write a book, and she is actually, my daughter is so good. We are like doing this book, and my daughter said, like, I think we should use you as a child, and then you are the grown up then in our little movie thing. Doesn't matter, but so it's like almost like you remember how it was to play as a child and being in the mission world with all her the mission friends, or and we doing and I think maybe that is the reason. I think it's always the reason for something, because we're doing this book and I get stuck. I couldn't get that, and then I saw your healing thing and I'm like, no, I'm gonna try it. This is like, probably silly, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot. I have nothing to lose. And I think this is like a part of my life at the continue with the children book, and just because my daughter, I think she tried to help me doing the children book. She's 22 years old.
Yeah.
But it's like we got stuck, and I'm feeling, oh my God, did I put this on my daughter? But I don't know. That was too many words, sorry.
No, it's completely fine. And let's see what comes out of this, right? But I'm sure that whatever you do from this place now, your 9-year-old will be happy.
Yeah.
And I think this is coming to a conclusion from what you came into and what we've gone now, right? Because you came into the session with a question around your weight. And just by slightly exploring what was going on there, we came to this belief there's something wrong with me. And then we found
Yeah.
where that belief came from. And I'm not saying that anything will shift with the weight or not, but these things tend to have a big impact, the energy that we've been carrying along with us. So I'm quite curious to see how you progress with this. And most importantly, I see like the fact that you could go into the energy, the heaviness, you could start working with your inner child, you could start releasing this, and now you feel good and your inner child is happy. All of this for me feels like you're walking the path, right? There's connection to self, there's connection to your child. And for you to know as well, once we start connecting to our child, our past, the shame and the guilt and all these things, and we start working through that, we are creating a better relationship with self. So it's important for me to also know that yes, things can instantly heal and you can get results immediately, which you already did. You already shifted the energy. But more importantly, what I invite you to, and everyone who's listening as well, that your relationship to yourself will always be ongoing. It will always be there. So you might have a 9-year-old this time that you're working with, and maybe the next time it's a 20-year-old self, right? Or it's the self that was pregnant when your mother or you had your first child and your mother come in there. So you will have parts of yourself who, what is more important is that you create a relationship to this past of you, so that whenever the past is playing a role in the present, that you can go there, support them, love them, and then come back into the present moment. So you're not so much stuck in the past. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, when you're talking now, I feel like I'm sitting like in a wheel,
Yeah.
and it's wheeling. It's like it's never ending. It's work progress, and it's not bad,
No.
and it's not good.
It's
It's
like
life.
it's life, and it's any relationship. To have maturity is to understand that we evolve in our relationships the whole time, including our relationships to self. We don't know how powerful we are, and that is something that we find out during our life. But we continuously evolve and evolve, and in that journey, what is important for me is to have relationship to self, right? To have a good relationship with yourself. So all these internal critics and the part of your with your mom and stuff like that, they might still be a part of you sometimes if something reminds you of the past. And then it's more important that you can apply these tools, apply the awareness, and meet this with love and kindness so that you can transmute the pain that eventually is still stuck in your body from the past. So for me, this feels like a perfect kind of ending to the session, but I want to ask you if there's anything that you want to ask or that you want to go into more. So, and before we wrap up.
No, I think it's also like I'm surprised how much pictures that come. Like so I feel it's a start on a new beginning, but it's a wheel. You know, I have done this before, but I feel like this is a really good reminder of that I am powerful. I can help myself through another person, of course. And I think that we need other people, but in the end, I'm the one who's going to go do the work now. And I'm very grateful that you helped me, you know, put some gas in the tank and I can try now. So I think it's a good, I'm very grateful for this. I think it was a good ending and yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And I would say that to be witnessed by someone else and to be guided is super helpful. So whenever you feel or anyone feels that they need help, that it is good to seek help. But ultimately, the help comes from you sitting with yourself. It's you giving yourself time to be with yourself. And sometimes it's so much easier to do that with someone else, but it's not necessary,
Yeah.
right? Just to be clear about
Yeah.
that. And in an ideal world, we all have these tools and resources so we can heal. But unfortunately, we didn't grow up in a society that promoted well-being. So that's why we're also helping each other on this journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Helen. I hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you. Yeah, okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this show. If you're interested in working with me, either through a similar session like this in a longer container, or if you want to come to any of my local events in Malaga in Spain, you can click the links in the show notes or go to my website, filippalevermark.com, to find out more.